Yo guys, what is good? As here once again with another Exos series video, and today we're talking about FC Valentina. Let's get into it. Alright, so the artwork looking fine as always, but let's skip about that. So, for those of you who were looking forward to a unique passive, maybe the Wet Fog or something like this, very disappointing, it's not there. So if you don't have FC Iris, you kind of need to get her somehow. Very sorry about that. Valentina's S1 stays the same. The Contempt got changed. Her S2, they removed the silence, they removed the damage over time component and increased the damage. So now we get into Contempt. The mana burn, if you had Fear of the Abyss on the targets, was already there, but now it also binds all enemies. I tried to confirm with the Japanese patch notes. This seems to be a new buff. It's kind of like stun or something that cannot be removed. Probably a new status effect. Not so sure about that. And then the usual things and her exclusive weapons are there. So I don't want to make this a too long video. Let me quickly go over my first notion. It kind of looks disappointing. If you don't have Schufraken, this hero does nothing for you. And it is the first Fate Core that has no impact. Xeon, he had the turn reset if you have Rachel, right? Okay. If you don't have Rachel, you don't get all that extra. But we can all agree that the passive of Summer Blessing is way below the first Guardian passive. So the passive was stronger, and this seems to be like pretty much countering herself. Like everybody is running FC Iris, so she will not deal any damage. And this Contempt, I don't know if that can trigger on the first turn, because it needs to land, right? And because she doesn't have any AoE, you basically need to hit with it. And I don't know if the AoE component can hit people that are already or that are still impacted by the frost damage immunity. A lot of unknowns. If you don't have Schufraken, this seems very lackluster. It does do nothing for you besides the Summer Blessing. And at that point, if you have Daggers, if you have anybody else, they will do the same for you. If you have Schufraken and can run them in a team together, then this could put a team into like massive lockdown. You cannot perma-lock them down, but if you burn their mana, they have a low chance of gaining their mana back once they have the next turn. So most likely their burst abilities won't be triggering, or they might not be able to use some of their expensive skills, like all the 5 mana cost skills. It seems interesting, but not on FC Iris level. I would rate her like pretty low, in all honesty, because of the dependency. How it plays out, we actually need to play with her. If the mana burn can trigger even when they are affected by frost immunity, you need somebody who removes that frost damage immunity before she can go either way, like with a single target. If you have Schufraken, he will be the one who does that, because he is like at 70, 75, 80 speed, and she is at what, 40-ish speed, so she will go after him. Other than that, it seems kind of lackluster, if that is the correct word. This whole patch has a lot more, so I want to go over it, but not in this video. This one will just be FC Valentina, and then we go over the rest in a different video. So if you enjoyed it, leave a like, comment. What do you think? Do you see a large application for that? Will you run her in some of the teams? With all that said, it was a pleasure to have you here, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy the grind.